thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. We are so excited to introduce you to our new program called FOXG1 Event Navigators. And the purpose of our Event Navigator program is to make fundraising easy and fun for anybody who wants to do it for FOXG1 Research Foundation. Our foundation gets so many inquiries from family members, from friends, from parents who say, I'd love to host a softball event, or I'd love to host a fundraiser for the FOXG1 Research Foundation. And they need some support. They need some social media support. They need our logo. They need to learn, about what they can and cannot do, get recommendations from us. So we wanted to come up with a program that's like a turnkey solution. So really encourages people to host events as well, because as we all know, we are working so hard to drive forward our mission for the FOXG1 Research Foundation to find therapies for every child in the world who has FOXG1 syndrome, while supporting parents and advocating for patients along the way. We've done so much in the 7 years since we've started, but we cannot do it without fundraising. So we are so grateful for everybody who wants to do anything to help raise any money towards these goals. So this incredible team we have there has helped put together our FOXG1 Event Navigator program, and it's led by Leah, who has joined our team to lead our fundraising committee. And we are going to walk you through this Event Navigator program and hopefully get you excited to fill out a form, say, I'm interested in being teamed up with an event navigator to host an event. Now I would like to introduce our incredible event navigators who will be available to you. So if everybody could just say hello quickly, I'll point to you. First, we have Brianna.
Hi, I'm Brianna, mom to Penelope, and I am also the social media manager for the FOXG1 Research Foundation.
Thank you, Brianna. We have Rachel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel. I'm mom to Eliza.
Thanks, Rachel. We have Andy.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Andy Padilla. I am father to Fox Andresito.
Great. Thanks, Andy. We have Anna Marie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna Marie, and I'm mom to Michaela.
Thanks, Anna Marie. And Christina.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christina Grippy. I'm mom to Lydia.
Great, thanks. And Nasha, are you there?
I am. Hi, I'm Nasha. I'm just listening in. Very excited about this.
Great. Thanks for being here. Nasha's also a event navigator and everything else for the FOXG1 Research Foundation. So thank you all so much for being here. And we'll get started. And I will turn it over to Leah, and our team is going to walk everybody through the Event Navigator Guide.
Great. Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, so why don't we start off with just initially how it is that you ask for help from the FOXG1 Research Foundation for your event. And this will walk you through the process of what you can do in order to ask for that help that you need. The first thing you'll do is you'll go to the FOXG1 Research Foundation website. And so the website is very easy to navigate now in terms of getting involved, because there's this big, nice button in the upper right corner that says Get Involved. When you click that Get Involved button, you'll be brought to this page. And as you can see, there's 3 very clear options here: plan an event, start a team, or volunteer. And what we're going to do today is we're going to click on plan an event, because you have something in mind that you'd like to do, some sort of date specific or time period specific event that you would like to hold. At this point, you would click this button that says Event Information Form. And that event information form will then bring up this form that allows you to communicate to us all of the details of your event. It looks intimidating right now, but it's actually all the information we would need just to make sure that our event navigator has the necessary information to help you with what you're thinking about doing. And so you would fill out this form, and once you fill out that form, it will be then forwarded to me. And the process that you're in is outlined on this page, which we have in our event guide. So you would communicate an interest. You're asked, an event host is asked to fill out the event form. They fill out the event form, and then I receive the event host form responses. At that point, then I find an event navigator, one of these very generous people, to help the event host through the process. That event navigator will contact the event host, introduce themselves, and then discuss resources that are available. And so then at that point, you are now paired with someone who can help you answer your questions, decide maybe how you want to run the event, what maybe other things you might want to include in the event, such as raffles or auctions, help you brainstorm with some ways to maximize your efforts. And then throughout the process, your event navigator will continue to help you through all of the different areas of your event, as well as following up with you when you're finished. We love follow-up, which we'd love to have some of your photos, some of your reports about how it went. And your event navigator will be the person that collects that information and develops that sort of assistance relationship with you so that we can make sure that your event is all that it can be.
So like we discussed, an event navigator is a FOXG1 parent or family member who is a volunteer who is basically going to help you navigate through the events that you plan. So it makes it fun. It connects you to another FOXG1 parent, and it gives you somebody to work with. And even if you're saying, sure, eventually I want to host an event. I can't do it so soon. But I do want to, and I want to be connected with my event navigator just to start the conversation. Go ahead and fill out that form, and we will assign you one of our wonderful navigators. And also somebody who starts out as an event host, the person who fills out the form, who wants to plan the event, can eventually become an event navigator. So we really want to grow this program as our community grows, that we can all help somebody else. So what can event navigators do? So they can show you how to access the different tools that we have to improve your fundraiser, like tickets, marketing options, store merchandise, how to secure products such as brochures and flyers. I've done some events. I did a concert event where people purchased tickets, and I set that up through our Kindful platform. So that way the purchase of a ticket is a donation. It's an automatic donation. So we have the tools within our FOXG1 Research Foundation to help make your event easier. So your event navigator will look at what it is you want to do and share with you the tools that we have. They can show you how to create your online fundraising page. Just like many of you know that you have your own, many parents have their own race teams. Each year we do our Race to a Cure campaign, or we have our ongoing race teams. Well, you can also create your own fundraising team just for your event. So like the concert event that I did, there were people who couldn't attend but wanted to contribute to it. So I made a special campaign just for that concert event, so we could see how much that event raises. And that's something your event navigator could create with you, and the branding for it. A lot of places need a letter of authorization to be used. We can help you increase engagement with marketing support. You'll meet Brianna, who is our incredible social media marketer, and create engagement. And like Leah mentioned, even after, we love to share your events in our newsletter. We'll help maximize the reach of your event through our own social media. talk about the use of our logo, really brainstorm with you. Of course, there's things our event navigators cannot do, and this is in our guide. Everybody will have this guide. And they might not necessarily be able to be at your event with you. They're not going to do the administrative work and necessarily create products for you. But we do have this guide that will have all of these details for you. As I said earlier, the goal and mission of the FOXG1 Research Foundation is dedicated to finding treatments for every person in the world with FOXG1 syndrome while supporting families along the way. We're a global organization. We're focused on 3 equally important areas: research, patient data, support, and advocacy. We will have, as you plan your events, we have resources like videos about the FOXG1 Research Foundation, things that you can share as you want to communicate at your event with your donors, with your supporters, the organization that they're supporting. We're working on a lot with the FOXG1 Research Foundation. That's why everybody who helps volunteer is so important. And some of the main things that the fundraising is going towards is, our main program right now is the advancement of our gene therapy program. We also have other therapeutic strategies we are starting and raising money for. We have clinical research programs underway. We are working towards publications. We're actually working on our natural history study publication right now. We have multiple publications that came out of the FOXG1 Research Foundation and multiple programs for parent support and advocacy. So a lot of times parents will do an event, a golf tournament, whatever it might be, and you may get up and speak, and you really want to explain to everybody there what it is that they're donating towards. And we are always here to help you. But like we said, we want to, help you in a way which is also like a turnkey solution for you. So your event navigator can help you communicate what our progress and goals are for your event attendees.
We have a really some great resources on our website for people who are still trying to think of something that they'd like to do to fundraise. And Anna Marie provided a restaurant fundraising deck that is really helpful and is currently on our website.
Sounds good. Yes, I'm ready. Let me just share real quick. So just going back to where we were, back on the FOXG1 Research Foundation website, we can click on Get Involved. And as Leah had mentioned, click on Plan an Event. And then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, you can click on Download the Restaurant Fundraiser Guide. So we put this together for everyone. I'm just going to share the PowerPoint here. We put this together for everyone to help you all, to help it make it easier to fundraise in partnership with certain restaurants and eateries. So I have listed the types of programs that restaurants and eateries could provide, such as hosting a lunch or dinner. So you're working on site with them and hosting like a meal. You can also dine and donate. This is where you promote your event to your network, and the restaurant gives you a promo code that your the people who want to donate could use whenever they go to that restaurant. Or you can also just straight out request for a donation. It really depends on the restaurant as to what programs they have. Will pop up for you, and it's just a quick slideshow presentation on what you can do to prepare for partnering up with your restaurant. And this is what I went over: hosting a lunch, dine to donate, and request a donation from the restaurant you partnered with. And I was just going to go over some tips depending on what type of program you go with. You just want to make sure you're reaching out to the restaurant early. You're setting goals and expectations for yourself, as well as, for those who might be helping you out. Get ready to be social and promote. So, of course, give yourself plenty of time to do this, and communicate, and often. Communicate always and often. That will just help promote your fundraising event. The next few slides include some restaurants that we have researched beforehand, and just to give you an idea. So this is a list. It's a national list, so some of these restaurants that you may not recognize may be more familiar on the West Coast or East Coast or Midwest. Just choose which one you would like. Each one of these are links that you can choose to click on and explore what their program includes. And I have put together just a quick summary of what they do provide. For example, Papagenos, you can host, and 20% of whatever your guests order will go towards your fundraiser. The next slide are burgers, same thing. Just each one is a link, and it has a quick summary of what they can provide for you in terms of fundraising donations. These are grills, and these are just a variety. So you notice Chick-fil-A's there, Panera. Those are very familiar to several of us on the East Coast here. And then we also included just a sample checklist. So this is not all inclusive, but maybe it would give you a head start in terms of how to start your fundraiser. These are all the different stages, like your planning stage, your preparation stage. Now it's party time. And then, of course, after the party. So just some ideas. And of course, you may come up with some of your own questions as you move along. So, but this is, again, something just to help you get started. And lastly, some questions when you're finally ready to reach out to the restaurant, some of the questions that you can ask so that, again, just a framework and a guide for you if you're just starting out. So hopefully this will be useful for you. And again, thank you so much. If you do go ahead with it, thank you so much for your support.
Thank you for that, Anna Marie. That's such a helpful tool. If someone says, well, I could do that easily, I'm just going to fill out the Event Navigator form and say, I want to host a local restaurant event at this restaurant. And my guess is that you might be assigned to Anna Marie right away. But thank you so much. It's so great that we have this event guide with the restaurant guide included in it, with the checks, to just really help make everything so easy. Thanks so much, Anna.
Yeah, and so another project that we had going was Christina. She put together another list of options for fundraisers, and so I'm going to share my screen, and let me make sure. Yes. So this is another list that we will be publishing on the website. My apologies, it's not on there right now, but it will be in that same event area that the restaurant guide was just located. And so
slideshow, Leah, please.
This is actually just a document as of now. We will make it a slideshow, but it's a document. So, but Christina, why don't you go ahead and talk about some of these options and some of these ideas that are contained in this, and I will scroll and you can kind of tell me what you're going to talk about so people can follow along.
Yeah, so we wanted to put together just some basic ideas. Well, actually, there's quite a few ideas here for different things that you can do within your community and within your own social circle. And the biggest thing that we basically wanted to do with this is just make sure that you're picking something that not only is going to be raising money for FOXG1, but it's also something that you enjoy doing. So we came up with many, many ideas. I'm not going to go through every single one, but I definitely just want to touch on a few. So the first one that's up here is just birthday and anniversary party fundraisers. So I know that a lot of people in lieu of gifts sometimes for birthdays will do, please make a donation to X, Y, and Z. This is a great opportunity for you to do that for FOXG1, whether it's your own personal birthday or it's your children's birthday or it's a bar and bat mitzvah, and that's what they're choosing as their mitzvah. There's many different ways that you can leverage that. Another opportunity is a golf outing. I know I personally did this one myself. If golf is something that you enjoy, you could have everybody pay for a foursome. A portion of that foursome will go towards FOXG1 Research. It's a great way to get everybody together, have a fun day, while also raising some money. I don't want to go through everyone. There's so many of them.
Yes.
But another opportunity is just independent businesses. So I see this all the time, even myself when I go out, whether it be a local brewery or even a restaurant or just a mom and pop shop that you might shop at. Sometimes they really are really open to partnering with, hey, for this week, you can be our, our benefit. So X, Y, and Z proceeds from this week's sales will go to FOXG1 Research. Some more opportunities that we have are some trivia nights that you could do with friends. So everybody could, donate money towards like a pool of money, and you guys could have a trivia night and someone walks away with the prize. So they're happy. And then you're also raising funds for FOXG1 Research. Some other opportunities that we put together were wellness fundraisers. So there's many within this list, but some that I've seen myself and I've seen other people do is, hey, I'm hosting, a cycling class. So your entrance fee for that cycling class will go towards FOXG1 Research Foundation. Again, great opportunity for everybody to come together, be social, you get a nice workout, and you're also, benefiting FOXG1 Research Foundation. Within the wellness, another opportunity is I've definitely seen a lot of these races. So if I'm, raise $1,000, I will complete a 5K. I see that for many, many other foundations. You see it for breast cancer, you see it for ALS, you see it for many other, illnesses. And why not, capitalize to do that for FOXG1 Research? But some other opportunities are school-based fundraisers. So you could do a bake sale, you could have your kids do a bake sale. And then we also have some more sport fundraisers. So again, like biking. So, do a bike race for FOXG1 Research Foundation, so on and so forth. And I just want to note that within this guide, one of the reasons why it was a document is there's actually links that will take you to like starting a team, for example, if you're doing, a race, or how to go about getting set up in Kindful. And then also there's links within here as well with examples from St. Jude or other foundations that give you even more in-depth details on how to host some of these events. So that's also located within this document as well. And then just a few other ones are just community fundraisers. You could do a garage sale, you could do a game night, you could do a cocktail party. And then, of course, there's always workplace fundraisers as well. So you could definitely do something with your coworkers. You could do a gathering, you guys can go bowling. You could also just ask your coworkers for donations. And within that, there's also, I call it basically free money, but if you're within your workplace, you could always, a lot of times they do matches and they do giving campaigns. And that's just a really great and easy opportunity to get that money from an employer. And why not, right? And it will go to FOXG1 Research Foundation. So again, there's so many different things in here, but always here to help in any way possible with ideas or getting someone started. I myself have done some of these, so always here to help.
And I'll add that we have set up the FOXG1 Research Foundation with the employee matching companies. So there's companies like Benevity that have, thousands of different corporations. So when they go and say, I'd like to do a match. So if anyone wants to say, donate $100, they could just go right to their company and find FOXG1 Research Foundation to make the match automatically.
Yeah, I've done it at my company. It was so easy. Just typed in Fox, first thing that came up, submitted, and it was an auto match. So it's very easy to do.
Great. Thank you so much, Christina. That looks like a really great list. And like we said, we'll be putting this on the website in the form of sort of a deck, like Anna Marie's deck. And so it will be downloadable that you can refer to, a really great resource for new ideas. The next thing we have is something Christina said sort of segued well into what Rachel is going to talk about. Rachel's going to share with us a little bit about how to start a team, why someone might start a team, how starting a team works in terms of how those donations then are submitted and used for FOXG1. So take it away, Rachel.
Great, thanks, Leah. Does it work better for you to pull up the PowerPoint or for me to do it?
I think I can pull it up. I think I have it right here. So
Excellent.
let me do that.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to scan down. We've done that. There's quite a few other things in here, but we will go with this one.
Perfect. Thank you. Of course, one of the big questions that any event host will have to consider and your event navigators can advise you is whether you're going to be collecting online donations. So Nicole mentioned, for example, one way that this can look is selling tickets for your event that you do via an online platform. You also could just have a donation platform available for people at your event to make donations. Various ways this could be done. But the FOXG1 donor management tool is called Kindful. And many of you may be familiar with Kindful if you've used it in connection with FOXG1's end of the year giving campaigns. Those of you who've done that have probably created your team through Kindful. But as Nicole mentioned, this teams can be created through that platform, not just for that year in giving campaign, but for any event. Or individuals can also create a team that's more general that they use for various events over the course of a year or more. Or, for example, if you're raising money on your birthday or your kid's birthday, so that money can all kind of pool under a single team as well. One thing to know is that the campaign does appear on the public page that displays fundraising teams. I don't know, Leah, whether it's worth showing folks that or not, but
I can, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, just so you all can see.
Let me get out of this and show. So it's the same area, get involved. I'm sorry, my apologies. Yes, it is. And then start a team. And this is where the fundraising team toolkit comes in.
Right, exactly. And I think once you create a team, it maybe is also available. Right now, it's the icon on the main page, like Race to a Cure. You can see, for example, I have like Team Eliza on there, but to go and create your team, exactly as Leah just showed us here, get involved, start a team, and you come upon this incredible toolkit. I'll note too, while we're on this page, so Leah doesn't have to go back and forth. You can see there's just amazing written guidance here to help you develop the story that you would put on your team page, why FOXG1 Research Foundation is an organization that matters to you, something about your personal story if you want to share about your loved one who's affected. There's advice pertaining to setting fundraising goals, just really walking you through each step of that process. And at the bottom of the page as well, we have a video that I actually recorded that goes through really the granular, if you're the kind of person who wants to see, okay, exactly where do I click? What fields do I have to populate? We have a PDF that walks through that as well at the bottom of this page, but it's sort of foolproof. So if you're like me and a little bit intimidated by technical things, hopefully that will be helpful. So that is how you would create a team. There may or may not be some language that references this Race to the Cure, which our year in giving campaign, but all of the steps you would take for making a general team or a team for your specific event are the same as what's outlined in here. So Leah, if you don't mind, I think that concludes sort of the relevant portion on this page. We could go back to the PowerPoint and talk a little bit about the benefits of using Kindful. So, okay, so one of the things that is very helpful if you are going to use Kindful for your online donations for your events is it takes the burden of accounting, keeping track of money that comes in, sending that off to the foundation. It takes all that off your plate. Any donations that your donors make go just directly to the Research Foundation. And if you're someone who's into tracking, what's coming in, seeing your progress towards your goal, that's all readily available if you just log on to your account and you can see your progress there. The second really helpful thing is that each donor will actually be emailed a tax receipt. So folks who like to have their charitable giving as a write-off on their taxes, that's all handled with the tax receipt being sent from the foundation if the donation comes through the Kindful platform. And our code that your event goers can use to make their donation. So, not a laborious process of logging in to some unfamiliar platform. They can just pull up their phones, go to the QR code, make their donation. And it's helpful too, depending on what kind of event you're doing. If it's the sort of event, say you're partnering with a restaurant, some event space hosting something, and they allow you to kind of advertise, have materials up. You could just have that QR code on every table, on posters in your space. So, it could be sort of an additional avenue to get more donations beyond just folks buying tickets. They might come to your event, learn more, and decide they want to make an additional donation. So one consideration just to keep in mind if you are using this method, since the donations go directly and in full to the Research Foundation, if you are having overhead costs associated with your fundraiser, for example, maybe you have to pay something to have an event space, you would actually have to submit receipts for reimbursement for that, and the event guide here outlines how you would do that in a separate slide. But one thing we kind of keep in mind, and sort of a fun challenge, is really getting as much gifted as possible. So a lot of different restaurants, vendors, etc. It's in their interest that you're promoting their space, and maybe they're willing to give it to you for free, or you can find different organizations to donate things for your raffle. So it's hopefully those costs can kind of be minimized to not have that be a major burden for you with the reimbursement, and also just to really maximize the funds that are going to this organization that we care so much about. So, okay, I think. Oh yeah, and we kind of went through, I guess the last component is just how you create the team, and we already walked through that. So I think that's everything on those slides.
Okay, great. So
and I'll just point out that we always have Race to a Cure up on our website. So we either have ongoing teams that you can always use as your ongoing link for anyone to donate to. Like for me, it's Team Josie. So like in my Instagram profile, I have the link to donate to Team Josie, and I always have this ongoing one. But then when we do an end of year campaign, when we're all joining forces to reach a certain goal together, I'll swap out that link, and it's like starting over. It's just like if you think about a Facebook birthday fundraiser where, you have a limited time to raise a certain goal. So I'll create a new Josie team, but it will be that year's Race to a Cure. And then I'll swap it out in different places. But you always have that ongoing team as well that you can use as what I like to call an evergreen. So if anybody watching this doesn't already have their team, you can go right to the website now and start your ongoing team if we're not currently in a campaign.
And I think the last thing we wanted to go over, because this is a very useful and helpful service that Brianna's been providing for most of our events, is going over the social media and marketing support that that we can offer to the events, because that's always something that's helpful for people to utilize our network to do. Brianna, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, do you want to pull up the
Yeah.
slide?
Yep. Let me get down to that one. There it is.
Whether I am your event navigator or not, I can work with any event. We can help with branding, creating invites, creating posters, kind of any graphic you will need. I can make that where it matches the FOXG1 Research Foundation's brand. I can collaborate with you on Facebook events. I know if you're doing a local event, Facebook does a really good job in promoting those. So it's always kind of good if you're doing like a local restaurant, something like that, to create an event. And you can actually add the FOXG1 Research Foundation as a co-host, so we could do that for you. We also have a section on the website that we can add your event that anyone can see and look at your information about that event, and kind of anything that you want branded FOXG1 Research Foundation, I can help with that.
Great.
And I guess after is when we will, do like an event roundup where we can show photos on our profile of your event. We also can share that in our quarterly newsletter. We like to share that just to, show all the events around the world happening for FOXG1 Research Foundation.
As we mentioned before, this document is available to the event navigator as well as to you or to the event hosts once those events are taking place. So there's a lot of other resources that we just don't have time to go over today, but that our event navigators will have at their fingertips to help with things such as ticketing or creating QR codes, or doing a whole bunch of other things that can make your donors experience at the FOXG1 Research Foundation event as seamless and pleasant and effective as possible. I wondered if anybody noticed or thought of any gaps or thoughts they had during this meeting that we would share with the event host that they feel like is important for an event host to know.
One thing for the hosts, because this came up for me when I've done events in the past, is just they need like copies of the form to show that we're a non-for-profit, so on and so forth. So they always need a copy of that. That's probably the main thing, just to have access to.
So that's the IRS determination letter.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll make sure that every event navigator has that to provide to every event host. It's usually the first thing that you need. One thing I will say is just always make sure that things are going to the FOXG1 Research Foundation, because there are sometimes, like even with the employee benefit guides, other foundation could come up with the word FOXG1 in it, and we want to make sure that all your work goes to our foundation if that's what it's for.
Yeah, Andy?
One question with regards to that component or that non-for-profit form, is that automatically built in or submitted with the receipt when you make that donation online to Raise to a Cure team? Or is that something that say a donor who donates via a link will have to also reach out again and say, hey, where is that? Or is that automatically?
No, so donors especially when you use Kindful, the great thing about Kindful is that everyone who donates through Kindful gets an automatic email receipt.
That's exactly.
So for tax receipts, every single donor will automatically get a tax receipt. The IRS determination letter is something that someone might need to organize an event with us, like a restaurant, like Anna was saying, might need to see it in order to be part of, or sometimes we need it for sponsors. So sponsorships is something we really didn't get into that much.
Yeah.
But sponsors is a great way to cover the cost of your event. So, like I did a concert event this year that was the music artist was covered. The cost of the music artist was covered by a local business. So I love your point that I forgot who made it earlier, but the fun part is really, getting everything you can pro bono, and people, you'll be surprised when you start putting on an event, how many people are willing to offer services pro bono, offer items pro bono. So you want to set out your event with the mindset that we don't have to put out money. This is going towards a cause. It's a tax write-off for companies that offer pro bono services. Ryan, you're working on one right now. Do you have a?
Yeah, I have a couple of quick additions generally, which one is, Andy, to your question on the automated receipts is our EIN number, the employer identification number, which you could use to look up the foundation to confirm its tax exempt status. In addition to that, as Nicole mentioned, we have our IRS determination letter, which you can be provided up front. But if someone needed to, they could always look up the EIN that's on the generated receipt to confirm our status. And then the FOXG1 Research Foundation is a 501c3, is a federally tax exempt organization. We've also worked with many state governments to become exempt in state sales tax for states. So if you're holding an event in certain states, you can provide the state tax exempt certification that we do have for a number of states that would exempt you from sales tax in those states. So it may make the costs associated with your event cheaper if you didn't have to pay the state's tax in addition to the federal tax. And we can kind of compile a list. Maybe Nicole, we could get together and put together a list and have those certifications available for folks to use as well.
We should add them to our event guide. So that they can easily see. New York is one of those states. Ryan, could you rattle off?
California, Florida, and Pennsylvania. Yeah.
I believe they're listed, but I don't have the actual letters available. But of course, the event navigators, we can make those available for when they're navigating in those states.
Yep.
Sure. And we can add them to our guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to drop, but I just want to give a shout out to all the parents here today that presented and that are part of this team. It's really inspiring to see you all up here taking this on and owning it and volunteering your time, and really inspired by you all to be here today. So really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan. And we can't wait to hear about your event that you're putting on right now.
Yeah, I'll definitely be sharing photos. We're really excited about how it turned out.
Great. Excellent.
All right, talk to you all soon.
Good.
Okay.
Thanks, Ryan.
That was a really great point about us being tax exempt in states and, hopefully more states coming. So you would have this certificate and, not pay for tax on anything that is for the event, which it really does help. Every dollar helps. So there's no event too small. There's no money saved that's too little. Everything, they say it takes a village. So, this is a really incredible village. So we're just so grateful for every effort, every creative idea. The idea of sponsorships is something that is not even just limited to events, so, we could even take this a step further of, fundraising in general. There are ways to go to big companies looking for grants. So anyone who is like, I don't really have the time to do an event, but I may know of a company who might have a grant opportunity for us, or who might want to sponsor our conference that we're doing every year, or something like that. Just really putting some thinking towards ways to help us, continue to drive our mission.
Okay, great. Well, if there's no more questions, I just want to thank everyone for being here and for being willing to prepare, to share the stuff that they've been working on and that, that we've done as a team. It's been great working with everyone, and I appreciate everyone's work. And thanks so much for being here.